Don't listen to men's rights activists if you want to know what they have to say.
Don't listen to men's rights activists if you want to know what they have to say. Don't listen to men's rights activists if you want to know what they have to say.
Hello, good people and shitlords as well, and welcome to another edition of Breaking Badger News. My name is Brian, and I'm here with Lindsay, and let's look at the latest stories as we watch Hollywood continue to implode on itself. Lindsay?
Alright, I wouldn't go that far, but... Netflix has introduced new anti-harassment training in the wake of the Me Too movement that rocked Hollywood and seriously disrupted production on its House of Cards show. New rules imposed on a set reportedly include no looking at anyone for longer than 5 seconds, no lingering hugs, no flirting, and no asking for a colleague's phone number. An on-set runner interviewed by The Sun said the following. Everyone was spoken to about Me Too. Senior staff went to a harassment meeting to learn what is and isn't appropriate. Looking at anyone longer than 5 seconds is considered creepy. You mustn't ask for someone's phone number unless they have given permission for it to be distributed. And if you see any unwanted behavior, report it immediately. Now, while these actual rules have not been confirmed or denied by Netflix itself, they have said in a statement, "We're proud of the anti-harassment training we offer to our productions. We want every Netflix production to be a safe and respectful working environment. We believe the resources we offer empower people on our sets to speak up and shouldn't be trivialized."
Wow, that just sounds incredibly retarded. So remember, this has not been confirmed nor denied by Netflix staff. This is something that a person that was interviewed by The Sun, an on-set runner, claimed to be true. But it doesn't sound, it sounds retarded, but maybe not too much so. But let me be clear as to why this policy, if it is true, is not only silly and a step too far, as many other YouTube commentators and journalists have put it, but it is dangerous for men specifically and will result in men losing their jobs at Netflix. And if this is considered a good practice by Netflix's contemporaries, it will spread to other parts of the entertainment industry as well. Here's the deal. When a person makes eye contact or looks at another person, then there is a much higher chance that that person that will feel uncomfortable from that eye contact is going to be female. The reason for this is not necessarily because women suffer more harassment, but because women are more likely to complain about feeling harassed or feeling uncomfortable, as they are more sensitive to these kinds of feelings, and therefore they're more likely to consider their discomfort to be harassment. Men have a higher tolerance for awkward social interactions, jokes, flirting, even insults. And therefore, they're less likely to consider those things to be harassment.
Humongous what?
Exactly.
Is that sexual harassment?
No, it's humongous.
Then why did you say that to me?
That's my name.
What? Humongous what?
Humongous what?
Humongous what? Is that sexual harassment? Is that what you just did when you said that to me?
This means that there will be more instances of women crying harassment than men, and men will be the ones that will have their comfortable workspace be made more stressful as a result, especially since the consequences of such an action taken by a man who is more likely to not think it's a big deal in the presence of a woman who is more likely to think it is a big deal or it's not being taken seriously enough, could result in disciplinary action, loss of a job, damaged reputation, or worse. Depending on the severity of the offense. Not the offense given, but the offense taken. Not only will these anti-harassment policies damage men more, but they will more specifically damage low-status, undesirable men. And let me explain that. Since all discomfort will be measured by those who are more likely to complain, which are women, and will also likely only happen when women are being made uncomfortable by men that they will find creepy, undesirable, or unworthy of interacting with them, I can promise you that Brad Pitt's and Ryan Gosling's of the entertainment world, they'll likely be able to get away with way more lingering stares and perhaps passing touches than some dumpy neckbeard personal assistant or awkward engineer type working in the effects department. Other women in the workplace will also be nearly immune, since women already claim to feel safer around other women, even if those other women might actually have predatory intentions. This goes back to something that we've talked about on the show for some time now, and something that Jordan B. Peterson has also tried to get across when he was being interviewed by Vice. Men and women haven't been working together for a very long time, and we don't know what the rules are as a result.
Right. Well, it's been happening for, 40 years? And things are deteriorating very rapidly at the moment in terms of the relationships between men and women. It's like we don't know if men and women can work together successfully.
But in what ways? Because
in the sexual harassment way.
It seems that at the moment, the rules are to make women as comfortable as possible, no matter what the cost is to the men who work there or your company's future. The reason for this is because we do not consider the ways in which women also provoke men with their sexual signals and choice of dress, because it does in fact cause men to respond to sexual stimuli. The thing is, when women do it, it's considered to be passive, so it doesn't come across as aggression, let's say. But to say this would be considered victim blaming. Sadly, the general public has bought the lie that when men notice women sexually, the women have done absolutely nothing to create or deserve that. They didn't choose to wear that skirt that enhances their hips and slims their waist. They didn't wear those heels that make her legs look fit and muscular and raise her ass. They certainly didn't wear that makeup that simulates sexual arousal and fertility. No, women just do that for themselves, and they have no idea that it could get the attention of men. At least, it won't get the attention of the men outside of the men that they're trying to actually get attention from, and the women that they're trying to signal their sexual desirability to. Right?
Yeah. I just wanted to say, too, on Jordan Peterson's comments, I remember how he brought up in that interview, the Vice interview, how in Maoist China, both men and women wore the same uniforms.
So what is the relevance then to sexual harassment in the workplace then if you can't make...
Well, the Maoists put everybody in uniforms to stop that sort of thing from happening. Men wear uniforms.
It's interesting to contrast that solution across workplaces. Many blue-collar and retail jobs already have unisex outfits for the functionality, but get into industries that use sexuality to sell, like even car dealerships or restaurants, you completely lose your edge in competition by boring down employee wardrobe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Hollywood is the pinnacle of a sexualized environment, and it's no wonder why the Me Too stuff is coming from them.
Yeah, it's like I was just talking about how a lot of Hollywood relationships, these short-lived kind of, they're probably more like sexual escapades with some romance that only lasts for a short time. They often form on set. Ben Affleck started dating Jennifer Lopez after he did this really bad movie that nobody watched. I think that he also there's a lot of cases where these actors, they get together and why wouldn't they? I mean, Hollywood basically has the most attractive people that have some modicum of talent all coming together in one place where a lot of attractive people are. So you're looking at the top of the top, and they're working together and often in extremely intimate settings, pretending to have lustful feelings for each other or be in love with each other. And so, yes, you're going to get that. That's almost an inevitability. And yeah, it also speaks to how short-lived they often are. But this is what we're talking about. I want to be clear about something that I said before. I'm not saying that women, just like Peterson said, I'm not saying that women should not be allowed to wear makeup or should not be allowed to wear clothes that signal that they're enhance their attractiveness, right? Because men do it too. Like, they get the corner office, they get the nice suit that makes their shoulders look broad, etc. But when women do it, we act as though they don't have any agency in it at all, and we pretend like those things are not actual factors. And I think that to do that is to be woefully ignorant of the fact that women make conscious choices when they dress and put on makeup and go to the gym and whatever. Like, when they go out into the world, they're not doing so on a whim. So I'm just explaining that, but yeah, so this totally makes sense with the whole Hollywood thing. So
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of something too. Not to get too off topic, but one retail job I worked at, they actually started enforcing a no hugging policy. And I just want you to guess the gender of the people that were most upset and offended by the policy.
I'm guessing it's the women because, well, first of all, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so because like, why if you told if you were at a workplace and you told men that they couldn't hug on women or whatever, they would likely not be happy about it, but they probably wouldn't complain because they wouldn't want to come across as entitled to women's bodies. But
they could be hugging each other.
Men?
Yeah.
They sure. But I mean, a bro hug, no one's ever cried sexual harassment for that, I don't think. Unless it was more than a bro hug.
I think the reason they did it is to like increase productivity. I don't know if it really worked though, because it was like high school in that job, really. Like,
yeah.
People were hooking up with each other and everybody was hugging all the time, and it was like, are we here to socialize or work? It was hard to tell.
That's probably, maybe they were trying to curb that. So anyway, congratulations, #MeToo. You will prove once again that in order to kill an entire industry, you just need to treat women like worthless babies that have no agency whatsoever, and always give the squeaky wheel the grease, which are the worst of those women, while setting the rest of the wagon on fire. The wagon symbolizing your actual company.
Absolutely.
Speaking of setting the industry on fire, Sylvester Stallone is in the news. He's been added to the ever-growing list of Hollywood actors accused of sexual crimes against women. They aren't even clarifying whether it's a sexual impropriety, sexual harassment, sexual assault, or rape at this point. It's just a sex crime. I mean, we may as well just treat all of it as rape from now on, because we just want to make sure that no Christina Garcias actually get off free. Oh wait, no, Christina Garcia doesn't count because she's actually a woman. Greg Riesling, spokeswoman for the district attorney, said in an email to USA Today the following about this case regarding Sylvester Stallone. A case was presented Wednesday by the Santa Monica Police Department regarding Sylvester Stallone. It was under review. Our office is not commenting further, end quote. No details of the alleged crime have been provided at this time. However, there is a police report that was filed by an unnamed woman in the past November accusing Stallone of sexual assault in the 1990s. The 90s, guys. Stallone's lawyer told CNN that Stallone categorically denied the allegations. Time doesn't seem to matter, though, to the Me Too movement. I mean, anything that you've ever done or said can come back and bite you on the ass, as long as you're a man and you have said or done something with a woman. So, I mean, I don't know what else to add to that, except it's like Demolition Man's becoming real. This is basically, for Stallone specifically, in this case.
I was wondering if you would like to have sex.
With you?
Mm-hmm.
Here? Now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for another edition of Breaking Badger News. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the stories in the comments. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so we can see you next time.
Fluid transfer?
I mean, Boney, the wild mambo, the hunka chunka.
That is no longer done.
Is there sexual harassment in the workplace? Yes. Should it stop? That'd be good if it did. That'd be good. Will it? Well, not at the moment it won't, because we don't know what the rules are.